One question that we get a lot here at Swaddle School is how to lay my baby in the bassinet without them waking up. So many babies will wake up either as you're transferring or very shortly after you've transferred them to the bassinet. So if you are dealing with this, you are not alone. Here are our Swaddle School top tips for actually getting your baby into the bassinet. So tip 1 is swaddle your baby. Here we have our Swaddle School fake baby, and he is swaddled in the Ergo Baby Swaddler. Obviously, you can swaddle in whatever, but moving your baby around whilst they're sleeping or even when they're not sleeping, they can startle, and when they are sleeping, that can wake them up. So swaddling them will help that reduce the risk of that happening. So that is tip 1, swaddle your baby. Now, when you've helped them to sleep, you want to wait at least 10 minutes. Now, 10 minutes, they are in a little bit of a deeper sleep, and so it will be easier for you to make that transition. Now, your baby probably has a perfect amount of time. Average is around 10 minutes. So you can play with it just a little bit, but you do want to wait a little bit. And as well, you want to try holding your baby horizontally for as much of that 10 minutes as possible. If you are holding your baby up here and helping them sleep, which is fine to do, and is oftentimes a lot easier, especially if you have been burping them after a feed and they just fall asleep. When you then try to go back, that is when they will startle. It's also going to feel really different for them. They're upright, they're vertical, there is pressure against their tummy, there's nothing really on their back, and now you're going to be laying them down like this. It just is going to feel completely different. So, as you've got your baby to sleep, try holding them for as much of that 10 minutes horizontally, and try holding them a little bit more on their back as well, so that you have your hand underneath here. So as you are going to then lay them down, it feels much more similar to how you've been holding them. So you're holding them for as much of that 10 minutes in this position. And then you are going to get up and you are going to go to the bassinet and you're going to try to lay them down. You want to be really stealthy doing this. So you don't want to just be getting up, moving over and laying them down, especially if your baby has been struggling with this. So get up, wait a few seconds, move to the side of the bassinet, wait a few more seconds, and then you're going to try and lay your baby down. Gently laying them down, super stealthy as you possibly can. Once you have then laid them down, place a hand on their chest and on their stomach with a little bit of pressure there, because no matter how stealthy you are going to start waking them up. Now, we are 10 minutes asleep, so a little bit of that deeper sleep. So they'll start waking up. They shouldn't wake up instantly. You can be that hands-on with that pressure, and you can jiggle them just a little bit, and that should help them to get back down into a deeper sleep. Oftentimes, babies who wake up on the transfer were not in a deep enough sleep when you began making the transfer. Babies who wake up after about 10 minutes after you've transferred, they just started waking up when you made that movement, and then they just continued to wake up and took them 10 minutes to do so. So if you are hands-on and you are doing a little bit of movement, you can be shushing when they're laying down in the bassinet and then easing up on the movement, keeping your hand there, easing up on that hand on, and then you can leave. If your baby begins to move, wiggle, make a noise as you are getting that less involved, they're beginning to wake up, so you could just kind of start again and help them. Now, a lot of times babies will then, you've successfully transferred, they will go all the way through multiple sleep cycles. You may get a long nap. But even if you get a short nap, let's just say you get a 20-minute nap or a 30-minute nap, and then you need to go in and rescue the nap, that's fine. It's not perfect, but it is actually a really good start, and it is something that your baby will get used to. The more that they do it, the easier it will become. Though we view sleep as being something that should be really, really natural and really, really easy, it's not. You're now laying your baby down, wearing clothes. You're laying them down somewhere where they're not used to, completely different from what they're used to, and it's going to take some practice. Practice makes progress when it comes to sleep. So even if your baby only naps for 20 or 30 minutes in their bassinet, that's really good. That's a great start. The more that they do it, the easier it will become. So you want to make sure you are swaddling your baby, you are holding them for as much of the 10 minutes, you are holding them horizontally, not vertically, super stealthy as you then and slow as you go to lay them down, hand on, jiggle, 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 spending a minute or two, getting less involved, and then celebrating every success, even if it's a short nap.